Every single day, we're all faced with this really fundamental choice. Do we take the path of honesty or the path of dishonesty? Today, we're going to explore some really timeless wisdom that might just help us navigate that journey. Okay, let's kick things off with this incredibly powerful African proverb. Just think about a candle for a second. It gives light, right? A lie can feel exactly like that at first. It's a bright idea, maybe a quick fix that lights up a way out of a tough spot. But what this proverb is warning us is that that light doesn't last. It burns out, and it burns out fast, often leaving you in a darkness that's way deeper than where you started. And that really is the core question, isn't it? If that quick, easy fix of a lie is pretty much guaranteed to fail, then what's the alternative? What's the one thing that actually lasts? Well, let's find out. First up, let's really dig into what this ancient wisdom has to say about the problem itself. I'm talking about the very real and often very personal costs of choosing to be deceitful. Wow. I mean, it doesn't get much more blunt than that, does it? We tend to think of lies as something we do to trick other people. But this proverb, it just flips that whole idea on its head. It argues that the main victim of your lie is you. It's literally an act of self-harm. And this right here just perfectly captures the trade-off. You might use a lie to shield yourself from, some immediate pain, a difficult conversation, maybe some consequences you don't want to face. But that shield, it's paper thin. And the wound it creates to your reputation, to your relationships, and maybe most importantly, to your own self-respect, that's the thing that sticks around. This really gets to the absolute heart of the matter. Look, facing a hard truth can be painful. There's just no way around it. But that pain, it's temporary. It's that moment of reckoning that actually lets you heal and move on. A lie, on the other hand, well, that's like a poison that just seeps into everything, slowly corroding trust and your peace of mind, pretty much forever. So when you boil it all down, every single lie is like taking out a loan against your future self. You're the one who has to carry the weight of remembering it, of maintaining it, of always worrying that you'll be found out. It's this heavy burden you place on yourself, and it only gets heavier over time. Okay, so we've seen the pretty heavy cost of lies, but now let's flip the script and talk about the alternative, the incredible, unstoppable power of truth. If dishonesty creates a wound, what does truth create? This is just such a beautiful and powerful metaphor. Think about it. You can try to suppress the truth, you can try to bury it under layers of excuses and denials and distractions. That's all the water. But this proverb gives us this amazing assurance that truth has a kind of natural buoyancy. It's resilient. It doesn't matter how hard you try to push it down, it will always, always find its way back to the surface. I mean, when you actually put them side by side like this, the difference is it's night and day, isn't it? On one side, you've got something that burns out fast, hurts forever, and is basically self-destructive. And on the other, something that always rises, is the foundation of wisdom, and brings you freedom from fear. The choice couldn't be more clear. And here, you have Thomas Jefferson taking this idea even further. See, honesty isn't just about avoiding bad stuff. No, it's the actual starting point for something so much bigger. It's the prerequisite. It's the very first chapter you have to read and really understand before you can even hope to live a wise and meaningful life. So this all naturally leads us to a deeper concept. Because look, it's one thing to tell the truth in a given moment. It's a whole other thing to be a truthful person. And that's where the idea of honesty really evolves into integrity. Okay, so the dictionary gives us the basics. Being honest, having strong moral principles. You get it. But integrity isn't some passive thing you just have. It's an active principle, something you have to choose to live by, especially when it's really, really hard. And this right here, this is probably the most famous definition of integrity you'll ever hear, and for a very good reason. It draws this incredibly important line between your integrity and your reputation. Reputation is what other people think about you. Integrity is who you actually are, especially when there's no audience, no one's gonna clap for you, and there's nobody around to impress. See, it's not about putting on a show for other people. It's about your character. And the truest test of that character is what you choose to do in those moments when you are completely and totally alone. All right, so what's the payoff for all this? For taking on the temporary sting of the truth, for committing to integrity even when no one's looking. Well, as we're about to see, the reward is something truly priceless.
The wisdom we've been looking at points to some pretty incredible rewards. You get to walk through life with confidence, not always looking over your shoulder. You get to live without that constant nagging fear of being found out. And, maybe most important of all, you earn that quiet internal peace that only comes from having a clear conscience.
And that right there brings us to the ultimate bottom line. We spend so much of our lives chasing external things, like money and success. But this ancient wisdom offers a totally different point of view. It suggests that the greatest treasure you could ever possibly own is something internal, that peace of mind. So, really, the biggest takeaway here is this simple idea. A life built on a foundation of honesty and integrity, it gives you a kind of richness that no amount of money could ever buy. It's a type of wealth that can't be stolen, it can't be lost in a stock market crash. It is yours and yours alone. And that's where we're going to leave it, because this question isn't for me to answer or for anyone else. It's a question for you, for that quiet moment when it's just you and your choices. What does your integrity ask of you?